Okay, hello. Sorry for the late start. I lost track of time while I was working on merging in changes. But so as for what's on the plan, what's planned for this week, I'm going to be working on Zero, which I did last week, but because I lost, I had broken my microphone, nobody could hear that, so I'm going to be going ahead starting over from scratch. Before I do, however, I'm actually going to check and make sure that you can hear me. So pardon the double sound for a bit. Pausing music. Okay, looks like all right. Okay, we're good. Audio is working. So, before I begin, so this is what we had done of Zero last week. I've got some of the sprites done, and I had him walking and moving around, but we're gonna just throw most of that out for now. Let's see. And here we've got basically every sprite from the Mega Man Zero series. Alright, to start off, the easiest way to get a character working would be to go into the fighters and then just copy the Hitboxy folder. Zero. So we've got, first off, let's replace some of the superficial stuff like the franchise icon and the character select icon. Like I said, I've already got these done, and there will be plenty of opportunity to see how to make these sort of images later on, so I'm just going to copy the ones that I have done. So this is a slightly modified symbol from the Mega Man X series. So if I copy that, and then also let's grab the icon, and then if I run it, we should see, oh, that should be Zero, but it doesn't look like it got his icon properly. Which makes sense, actually, because we haven't changed the name of the icon. It's still using this icon hitboxy.png. So, right here is the fighter.xml that has most of the characters' information on it. And let's change name to Zero. We've got the franchise icon in the same place. Icon 0. And we'll leave everything else as is for a second, and you'll see that by changing those files around, we've got 0 on the character select. Once we load in, we're still going to be Hitboxy, but as you can see here, with the Z franchise icon is loaded. And if I end the game, the results screen will say 0. 0. All right. And let's go back into this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start loading up some sprites. The first thing you want to do whenever you're making a character is find the widest sprite that you feel like you're going to use without any articles or other extra animations. And for me, I'm pretty sure that the biggest sprite is this one here, which is the same size as this one next to it, and then a couple of others, and that is about 80 pixels across. But let's make sure. Let's open it up in whatever your... Whoop. Did not want to convert it. All right. Let's open it in whatever your image manipulation software of choice is. Mine is Paint.net. And then let's just give ourselves an easier working area. And then actually start shoring it up to the pixel. So yeah, we've got 80 pixels here. Now as for the height can be variable because the engine doesn't slice the images vertically to make sprite sheets. We can realign on height easily enough in the action, so this one can be basically anything. I had it set to 64 for the sprites that I've already done, and assuming 80 per sub-image. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ones that I had done, which would be this walk cycle, this dash, and an idle animation. Let's start with the idle here. If we look at, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sub-images. And if we look at the canvas size, then we've got 6 times 80. We've got 480 right here. Height is 64. I'm going to be making more sprites later. You'll see the process of creating these pretty soon. But now that we have that set up, the sprite directory, we're still sprites, prefix. What this means is if we go back and look in the sprite directory here, you'll see like Hitbox, 0. You can give different prefixes for one character if you want to have like different costumes that aren't just reskins of each other by giving them a different prefix. So if I wanted to later on make a costume for 0 that was the Mega Man X version of 0 instead of the Mega Man 0-1, I would give it a different prefix, so it'd be like MMX0 _ and then I could change this in-game, the sprite prefix, to something else. Anyway, onto the width. This is so the engine knows where to slice the sprites to separate one image from another. Default sprite is just if it ever gets an animation that it doesn't know what to do, it will switch to this one that you give it here. In this case, it'll be idle. And then articles is just, article path is where things like, you know, your blaster and other sprites that you generate would be stored. In this case, it's an articles folder inside of the sprites folder, but that is currently not, you know, doesn't have any of our actual articles in it. And then the actions, we can give it either Python or an XML action, so we're going to do 0 actions.xml. So that we can see, you know, how to make XML actions. And then let's go ahead and rename this. And open it up, and this will be the actions that we have. So right now, if we were to load up the character, we would see, well, actually a crash. Hang on. Oh, I didn't actually copy over the images from the old version to the new one, so it couldn't find them. All right, now let's try. We should see a very tiny 0 with very few animations. Yep. So how are we going to fix some of this? Well, in here we have the fighter stats, and we can tweak these, and one of them, a new stat that we can add, let's double 0's size. And that didn't quite work. Was it scale? Was it called something else? Oh, scale, it's not in the variable. That's right. This is a recent feature, and I'm not entirely caught up on, I'm not entirely comfortable with it yet. But as of right now, scale is going up here with the rest of the character level things. And now he's normal size, but he's still missing a lot of animations. And you'll notice he does a sort of like jitter whenever you switch animations. That's because the automatic animator is playing all of the frames of idle whenever he changes animations, but because we've copied over the hitboxy action, he doesn't have an idle animation. We've set the thing too high. So let's go with every 4 frames it'll change, and then it'll loop. And then, so let's see, we had 6 frames, so that's 4 times 6. We'll go 24. And then on the last frame, go back to the first frame. Looks a little bit awkward, but you get the idea. I think we just need like a bit of a cooldown time. Let's see here. If we set the frame to 24, let's actually get rid of loop. And then that would be 5 because it's 0 indexed. Instead of setting the frame, we're just redoing the action. So that way it'll restart the animation, because whenever you change subimage, it stops this sprite rate here. And let's call it, let's see, 12 frames in between animations. Looks a little better. Maybe it should be slowed down a little more. And then half that would be 18. 18, so that'd be 44, that'd be 54. 54 frames. So what I've done there is I've changed the sprite rate, which is how many in-game frames pass before it plays the next animation in the sprite. Before it was 4, now it's 6. So we've got that. We also have the sprite for walk. So let's do move. Sprite. Did I call it walk or move? Walk. Let's try 3. We don't need any of this because this is all animation code from Hitboxy. Since we're actually looping the animation, we won't need to do any of that code. And then let's see, how many frames is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So we've got 11 frames times 3. Let's call this 33. It's a little fast, but it's working. Actually, is it working? It looks like it's not looping properly. Oh, no, I think it's looping properly. It just looks awkward. Let's slow it down and see what it looks like. 6 might be too much, but it'll really let us see if there's anything going on with it. Whoop. Don't have that ledge hang animation, so I kept getting stuck. Looks like it's dropping a frame right there. Whoop, went into a dash. Yeah. So if I actually let's see what the last frame looks like and see if it's playing everything. Okay, so it's hanging on that one. And should that be the right frame? That is, indeed, that is what that frame looked like. Alright, let's cheat a little bit and see what I did in the last time. Almost there. Looks like it just sets the frame on the last one instead of jumping straight back to the beginning. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that looks a lot better. What was it doing that was wrong though? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's jumping back to this frame because this frame, I guess, links into this one. All right. Okay. So we've got move, and then let's get dash. So how we want dash to look is we want him to do this animation, and then he'll transition into run, which will be the same animation as before, but faster. So let's jump to run first. And this one, much like walk, but twice the speed. So you'll see whenever I dash, I'll be moving at a different speed and much faster. Oh, I didn't even realize that somebody's actually chatting. Ah. Yes, it's Ty. Okay. Asking if we're doing board games tonight. Let's see. Hang on. All right. So, nothing much. Just planning potential board games later. I haven't played BattleCon in a while. I might be interested in that. But yeah, let me move the chat so that I can see it a little better. Here. And by that I mean I'm physically moving my screen closer to my field of vision. Alright. So let's call sprite rate 4. Let's just test this out. So it'd be 0, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times 7 would be 28. See how that looks for now. Okay. Animation's working, but it doesn't actually give us the movement because we haven't told it to do that yet. So then let's say frame number 8. So it'll be on the second frame of animation because that's how long it takes for the dash to actually start. And actually that should be frame 4. Let's say, oh, we gotta set it relative to true, and then let's just throw 10 out there and see how that looks. I can compare it to the one I made earlier later. So that sort of works. We also haven't changed any of Zero's physics. All right. And again, I'm going to cheat a little bit just because we spent a while tweaking these numbers to our liking last week, and they worked out pretty well. So we've got weight is 110, so he's a little heavier than Hitboxy, but not by much. Falls a lot faster. And has a higher higher top fall speed. He walks at the same, walks slightly slower than Hitboxy. And runs quite a bit slower. Much better in the air, no crawl speed. Dodge speed is unchanged, if I believe, yeah. So he's got a lot more friction, harder to, you know, he slows down faster. Air control is better. He can influence his air momentum a lot more than Hitbox. He still has 1 jump. The jump height, the numbers are much bigger, but that's mainly because he's got huge changes in gravity. So the idea is that he'll have a comparable ground jump and a better air jump. And default landing lag is the same. He's got a good fast fall and still bounces the same amount. Now let's take a look at how that reflects the character. So this is his walk speed. Looks a lot better with the animation. There's his jumps, fast fall, very fast fall. On a short hop, he barely leaves the ground at all. Short hop, fast fall. Alright. Might have to do something about that later. Oh, I forgot to check the dash. Platform drop yet. Okay, gotta tweak that dash now. Alright, let's cheat again. So there's a lot more that we've got to do. Okay, so I just wanted to get the numbers here. So right now we've got speed is set to 14, and he'll gradually slow down to 7. This preferred speed is what the fighter will accelerate or decelerate to. So he's going to start the dash at 14 speed and then slow down to match the run speed. You can see a much smoother transition. Whoa, moonwalk. And stopped working for some reason. Okay. I swear it was just dashing. And this was supposed to be on frame 8. Okay, that worked. So the last time we did this, we actually had the dash go longer and like loop through the dash animation once or twice, but I'm actually feeling pretty good about this dash. Because before, like, I've changed a bit of how the dash physics have worked since last week, and this is actually closer to what I want it to be. So we're just going to keep it one loop. I think that's pretty good. So just for cleanliness sake, I'm going to go ahead and minimize the animations that we've got done here. Don't mind me, I'm just having a bit of lunch. Sorry. Let's see. Let's find a good landing animation in these somewhere. Is there one on this? No, this is all Z-Saber stuff. Movement. Yeah, he really doesn't have a land animation in the games. He just sort of hits the ground and immediately goes back to standing upright. Well, let's see if I can fake one using something else. Here's something. It's a bit of the superhero land, but maybe I could make it work. Yeah, let's go with that. That was the recoil rod. Alright, so we are going to find this frame. Let's cut down to it. Did I cut anything off on that? Let's make sure we got everything. And to keep things straight with the actual size of the character, what I usually do is crop it down to absolute minimum, and then 80, 64, and we'll anchor it at the bottom center, and he's in the right position, and let's clear that away so it's transparent. There are these little green pixels that were from the recoil rod that I don't want. And now for the fun part. Let's figure out what should be here. That looks about right. That seems good. And there we go. Landing. We have an impact landing sprite. Let's see. Should we make it more animated? What do we have here? Whoop. Unfortunately, he just goes pretty much from here straight down onto the ground. So I guess it's just a single frame landing. That's not too bad. Actually, yeah, I don't think I need to, since I've named this land, I don't think I actually have to make that because it doesn't have any extra functionality, it just lands. See how this looks? Doop. Okay. So yeah. I still have Hitbox. He's attacks active, so if we do one of them that gives him good landing lag, you see him hit the ground there. I think, yeah, we could, yeah, this makes a pretty good crouch animation too. Although I think there might actually be a crouch somewhere in these sprites. But before we do that, let's do, what else has land? Crouch, get up. Yeah, I'll have to... A lot... Hitbox uses that land sprite a lot, so... Let's take a look through, see if we can find something for crouch better than what we've already got. Oh, what the hell? These are a much better landing sprite. Starting from around here. I missed those. Alright. We'll probably do that instead and keep the one that we... Well, I don't know. This could be crouch too. I'll just do it for both. Alright. That was standard frames, and I can't believe I missed that. But I do like this pose. I might wind up using it for something. Let's see. Real quick, I'm going to look at Hitbox's land sprite. Yeah, he starts full and goes down. Okay. So we're going to reverse the order of these here. I got a little bit too much there. Alright, so here's how I do this. I don't think I have a zealous crop in this, and if I do, I don't want to go and look up how to get it. So let's crop that side. Okay. So these are 4 frames. And for animated sprites, what I usually do is I'll make a new layer for each of these, and then I will slice them off into their respective layers. So now I have a different image in every layer, and then I go and line them up on top of each other. And in this case, the feet aren't moving, so I'm gonna angle them up on the feet so that we'll use that as like a sort of anchor point to find out where the sprites should be in relation to each other. Oh, I am not on the right layer. And that was not what I wanted. All right. Now that that's done, and let's see, did something get cut off? I think the second frame got cut off, so let's go back to that, because if I move it out, it's going to be missing some of those pixels. Now let's start by moving, let's move the first sprite underneath that second one. Let's just use that as our new baseline. Because it doesn't matter where it is on the screen, because we're about to crop down. And I forgot to select again. Okay. So now, let's again, do the tightest crop that we can. And then expand the canvas to the proper 80/64, anchored here. And so this is, every layer is now the sub-image that we need to expand out in a row. So now that that's done, we've got 4 images, so that's 80 times 4, which is 320. And then we're going to anchor it on the bottom corner this time so that it extends outward like so. And if I go into the background layer, I wipe that away. And we are reversing this animation, so layer 4 is going to stay where it is, and layer 3 is going to come along and is going to move up 80 pixels. We can see in the bottom left corner there that, let's see, 80, 0, down here. Alternatively, a faster way, since 0 is actually a perfect multiple of 10, by using Control and the arrow keys, I can shift this 10 frames at a time and just click forward 8 times. And then that is where it needs to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I accidentally copied. So there we go. We have the land sprite. And I don't want to overwrite, so let's, just because I like this one, let's call this something different. Make sure to save it as a PNG. And that is not in the right location either, so. Oh, and one important thing that I didn't mention before, 32-bit bit depth. If it's 8 or 24, then the game won't know how to handle the alpha channel properly, and it won't load your character. It'll notice that it will cause the game to crash and won't even let you select them. Yeah, look at how much nicer that is. Yeah, if I do this neutral air, you can see with the landing lag how it looks. Yeah, looks a little jittery for very short landing lags, but I'll work on that later. So we've actually got a lot of these taken care of with that. Because I had a lot of reused animations. And this action's just straight gone. Let's do a stop and a pivot. Just some sort of animation for whenever he is running and has a bunch of momentum to skid to a stop. anything I could use here? So I'm thinking for pivot, it might not work well, but I could do something with this and then like loop it, like reverse it and then loop it. Maybe this one for a stop animation. You know what, it's one frame. Let's see how that looks. I've also got to put his hair back on him. That is the, which sheet is that? Knuckle sheet. All right. Don't need any of these, but we need the hair things. Whoops. That shouldn't. That was the wrong button. Let's cut these, put them on another layer. Let's make sure this looks all right. And then that should be low. Yeah, that seems about right. And then, yeah, we'll just play through all of those. So here's what I'll do. It's one that's 5 of these. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're not lined up. I will do that later. Let's see, which one had these hair? Okay. This one had the hair layers on it. So these should probably move. Okay. And then let's line up the hair. Right now it's above, but then I'll flip it to go below whenever I have everything lined up. This just lets me see where things need to be a little better. This one I need to move down 1 pixel. There we go. Yeah, and then I think that'll look all right. All right, let's go ahead and line all these up. It's very important that everything is touching the ground, otherwise the, whoop, I gotta merge these. Because the engine will check if there is part of the sprite that is touching the ground, otherwise it'll put them into an air state. You can manually override that on a per action basis, but really it's much easier to just make sure to put all of the sprites touching the bottom of the image. If you ever need to not do that, then you could reset the collision box manually for that image. I'll probably wind up having to do that at some point, and I'll show you that then. But as for right now, let's crop it down. Actually, you don't want to crop it down just yet. I want to make sure everything lines up properly. So that is 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's grab you. Alright, and then these will be fairly easy to line up because they are all literally the same image except for the hair. Crop as closely as we can. Expand it out. 80, 64. Center it. Boom. So that's 80 times 5 would be 400. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. This could look stupid, but let's see how it goes. So let's see, we've got don't want it to be too long of a stop animation, so let's do that fairly quickly. Looks alright for a run stop, but not for a walking stop. It's just a bit too exaggerated for a walking stop, so nope. That is my phone. And I am silencing that, sorry. Yeah, I think walking just looks natural to just stop. 1 second. Let me see who just called. All right. Accidentally moonwalked. I think it looks all right for a run, because he's kind of like skidding to a stop. Maybe it'll look too stupid in practice, but we can always come back and change it later. Let's move on to jump animations. This will make things look a lot nicer. Yeah. Alright, so what I'll probably do is I will start on this frame, and then I will loop between these while you're going upward. Actually, no, I'll loop between these as you're going upward. This one will happen whenever you switch to starting to fall, and then this will play as you are falling. Okay. Actually, no, this could just easily be 2 animations to make it easier. The jump, fall. Don't need you. That's part of landing. Alright, let's start with before I lose these, let's cut new. You'll hide there for now. Clean this up a little bit. And then, alright. So it's 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on track. Alright. So let's see. What part of him is staying roughly still? The feet for all of these. But between these first 2, I don't know. I'm going to have to eyeball it, I guess. But first, let's start just with the ones that are going to be easy to line up. these ones pretty easy. Now, how do you fit in? Put it on the top so we can see it a little better. The hand, that could be. But it also needs to start on the same level. Okay, there we go. Now, since this one is in the air, it doesn't technically need to be touching the ground, although it probably will be touching on every frame just because of how we've gotten this animated. By 64. And then, whoop, 400. It's still 5 frames. All right. Doop, doop, doop. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes whenever I use Control to move them around by 10, I accidentally copy instead of move. Because it's Control, click, and drag to move. Let's do... Are you on the quick thing yet? No. Zero jump. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead. Land was 5 frames long. Yeah, let's start on frame 5. But then let's go to no, 15. See how that looks, and then on let's see. Let's manually animate this one, actually. Let's give it a rate of 4. So, actually, that'd be 9. 5 plus 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So what we're doing is whenever we change a subimage, the automatic animator turns off. Give it another 4 frames. Change to the next image. Wait, 0. need that last one. It's 5 frames long and 0 indexed. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So then this means the length has to go up to 25. Let's get fall going. Let's see, that's 20, and then, whoop. And on the last frame, we're going to skip back to this instead of the very beginning. I don't need that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and these ones are easy to line up on the feet. This should start seeming very familiar. It's pretty much the same process for every sprite that you do. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too far. There we go. All right, now let's see what those two look like together. Why isn't the fall sprite animated? Like, the jump looks nice, fall doesn't. It's not animating properly. I forgot to set the sprite rate, didn't I? No? No, I did. That's weird. You know what it might be? Let's see. Yep. Because Hitboxy doesn't have an animated fall sprite, I did not have the base action set up to animate. looks actually quite nice. And it looks good when you just walk off an edge. I have to make an air jump sprite. But I like that. I like that jump. So for air jump, there's the easy way and the cool way. And the easy way would be to just make it do the jump sprite again in midair. But that's lame. Let's find, where is it? Where are you? No. Doop. I bet it's in the Z-Saber actions. Hang on. Yes. I am going to take the spin attack and remove the Z-Saber from it. And that'll be a pretty cool air jump animation. And that is Saber Sheet. I've just had a peace offering. Someone came in and offered me junior mints. And then took what was left of my steak, but go ahead. Alright. So, I like working with sprites because if you have to make a change, it's pretty easy to know exactly what colors you need to replace things with. I think there were some white pixels over here that I missed. Yes. So that's frame one. This one's not going to be as difficult because it's all... none of it is covering him. Same with this one. Yeah, looks like most of these aren't going to be too hard to edit. I mean, he's going to be holding his hands out in front of him while he does a spin, which is going to look kind of awkward. I could try compositing something for that, but take a lot of trial and error, and I will do that on my own time. And not bore you guys, because I have to get to an attack, at least one, today, so that you can see how those are made. Too far. Alright. And in case you're wondering why I am not playing any music or anything right now, it's because I am planning on putting up this on YouTube afterwards, and I don't want to deal with copyright stuff. The music I played in the intro is all royalty-free stuff. That's why I use it. Also because Laszlo is just pretty cool. So, sorry this is a bit boring to watch. I'm gonna edit it, hopefully, and cut out a lot of the fluff All right, let's see. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. All right, and now to line these up. I'm gonna have to like center them, I think. Let's see. These ones are fairly similar. I can center them on the head, probably. Yeah. That looks about right. I'm just gonna have to eyeball these, I think. A little further back. No, there's good. Wish there was a way I could just move all of these at once without having to merge them down, but I guess there isn't. I can't select global. All right. This is getting pretty clustered in order to see what's going on. Although this close, it's starting to look like one of the, I forgot what they're called, I think it's the Cacodemon, the big red one from Doom, the first Doom. Here's an idea. Clean up this a little bit so I can line this up better. That looks good. Re-enable everything. All right. By 64. And then this one is 9 times 80, so that would be 720. Last one. Cool. Alright, here jump, let's see. We don't want this to take too long, but at the same time, most of Zero's sprites have been pretty low frame rate. Let's try 3. So then there's 9, so that'd be 9, 18, that'd be 27. Not 120, well, holy crap. Let's see. Jump frame, and I want it to start on frame 3. Let's see how that looks. Wrong button. Ah, I like it. Ah, that looks nice. That looks so nice. Whoa, I clipped into the ground there for a second. But it popped me right up. I don't know, maybe I was just... Oh, I think I might have actually grabbed the ledge on that. I like that as the platform drop animation. I've just got to fix that a little bit. Ah, that's so cool. Alright. Ah, this is starting to be a character. I'm excited. I am so excited. Alright, let's see. Where is it? Platform drop. Let's do -3, 27. I gotta give it more fixed time, or pop them downward. Let's see, frame number equal. I don't know, 4. Let's just get them going a little bit. Wait, I think that might, no, I don't know. No, negative is up. I think this will work. Yeah, 4 might be too much. And it should transition into fall. Why isn't it switching to fall? Yeah, it should be switching to fall whenever it's done. Let's just see what the shortened action looks like. See if he gets out of the spin animation. There we go. That looks better. Well, it looks like somehow it's not updating the air jump 100% of the time. But God, I love that animation. Yep, I was stuck in the floor. He's starting to look like a character now. I mean, the only thing I don't like is this run animation. I'll see if I can composite something that looks a little cooler. Alright, I'm done gushing about that animation. Let's see. Let's see, we don't have a pivot yet. You know what? Let's just move on. Let's do an attack. Give him his forward tilt, which, because it's 0, is going to be a slash. But which slash? Actually, I don't know. Let's give him a smash and a tilt. Actually, I don't know. This is a pretty good forward tilt. I was thinking maybe we could give him like a triple rod forward tilt, but this is 0. People don't pick 0 because they want to use a stick. They want to use a cool glowing energy sword, which I keep passing. Let's see, Z3 Saber Sheet. Z3 Saber Sheet. Let's see, we could actually use either of these. These are both pretty solid forward tilts. This one's probably going to be the smash. Let's go with... One thing I just noticed is that these animations start immediately. He's gonna be a good fucking character with a frame 1 F tilt. Let's see. This is really just aesthetic decision here. Those both look very similar. I like this one. Let's go with this one for the F tilt. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get all the little green? Yeah, I did. There's a couple of these little green pixels here, and I was worried I might have cut them off because I didn't see them when I was fully zoomed out, but I think we're good. Did I forget green pixels again? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. And these are all touching the ground. That's good. 80. 64. What the heck is all this? Oh, it's actually grabbing the top of his Z-Saber as well, which we do not want. Whoops. Wrong layer. So I don't want to wand tool this because it's not going to quite work. There we go. We're good now. This is 7 layers. That'd be 7 times 8, which would be 8 times 8 minus 8, so that comes to 560. Now I think I can wand that. Well, if I'm on the right layer. Okay. Accidentally copied that one there. Did it again, darn it. Alright. So let's give him a move. The hitboxes, I'm going to do that in a little bit. Let's just see how the animation looks. Let's see, we're looking at... Whoops, I should close some of these. Four, 8, 12, 16, 28. He seems to jump backwards a little bit because of the way that it centers the sprites. Let's see. I do like how that looks. Let's turn off that hitbox animation because that's misleading right now. The jump back is a problem, but other than that, the animation looks good. Good timing on that. Let's fix that real quick by manually jumping forward. Which I think I actually don't have a sub action for yet. Shucks. Alright, I guess you're gonna get a little bit of programming. Oh, yeah. Oh, OmniShift joined the chat. Yes, Zero is coming along pretty well. I'm liking the animations, but I do have to do something real quick. The Shift Fighter, I don't have fully built yet. Sorry, there is some code that has to be done here. I was hoping to just make characters today, but this is it needs to be done to look nice. Oh, what game are you? OmniShift in chat. Let me pop out chat. I should probably bring it up so people can see. OmniShift says that he's working on his own fighting game. What are you working on? Give me something to talk about. And the chat's gone because I popped it out. But yeah, Omni, talk to me. I've really got to do something about the stream delay. I thought I had set it to not do that, but Twitch won't let me not do that. Alright, that should be all we need for this, other than finding the actual shift position. So let's grab you. And then... Whoop. I didn't grab it from the right layer. Okay. That's not quite right. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like it's 12 pixels. Should be shoot, because if he's facing the other way it won't quite work. It need to be actually, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, this makes sense too. So negative would be away from the direction you're facing, positive would be the direction you're facing. I think that's a decent concession to make to get this to actually function properly without having too many arguments in the function. So let's see. He'll need to be shifted 12 pixels. If he's facing to the right, then that should be positive. Okay, we're good. And then, since we've done that in setup, we need to shift him back in teardown. Let's see how this looks now. Oh. Syntax error fixed. Oh. Yeah. Optional arguments can be a headache. Default values. So this is just checking to make sure that it has a node to check, otherwise it'll error out. I mean, if it doesn't have it, then that's not a big deal. It's an optional argument, but it doesn't know that. And I forgot to int. This is exactly why I was trying to avoid programming today, because there's always tiny errors like that. Get in there. Hang on. No, it's not working. Because it doesn't like the none. I see. There we go. I've already got these checks in here. Let's use them again. So what this will do is that if it's not set to none, because right now it's got to be set to none to ignore it. If it's set to 0, it'll think, oh, it's trying to set the position to 0. But I can't cast none to an integer. Let's see. Okay, that's... I think I'm shifting the wrong direction. No, it's just the camera. I think it's just the camera. Yeah, he's standing in the same place. It's just awkward because there's only one person on screen. I don't have hit stun frames working right now. Whoops. Okay. You know what? I don't want to shift the fighter position. I want to shift the sprite. Actor.sprite. Oh, you missed me futzing around with some code, trying to get this shift thing to work right. And I found some camera issues, so I've got to make it so it's not shifting the position, it's shifting the sprite. Okay, I'm not sure if this will work or if the fighter will auto-correct its sprite being misaligned from its collision hitbox, but let's see. Still seems to be moving the rectangle. That's why there's that jitter there, because it's moving the fighter's position and is trying to keep him on the center of the screen. Oh. Well, that's not quite right. Doesn't need to be in the facing direction. Oh, let's see. No, I should fix that up there. Yeah, the Python's not too hard. It's just the way I program is very much change a thing and then immediately test it and see if it works. So right now this is just par for the course when it comes to actually programming. But now I've got to think, how can I shift the sprite? Because the problem is right here, whenever I shift the sprite, it moves the actual character coordinates, which is awkwardly jittering the camera whenever I try and just nudge the sprite to one side. Let's try... Ooh, let's see here. What if I give the sprite an offset? The way I learned Python is, I shit you not, I wanted to make this game, I wanted to make Project TUSSLE, and I just went. I didn't know Python, I didn't know Pygame, but I did know that Python was kind of like Java, and for the life of me, I can't learn Unity. So I thought Pygame seems pretty good, and I just dove in. Lot of Stack Overflow. The Code Academy thing is probably a good idea to start with, just so you know the syntax, because I've seen Python before. I saw it a lot in my university classes, but I never did anything in it. And then I just started to pick it up by just jumping in. Actually, no, it wasn't Tussle that I started with. I actually made, and this is like fairly embarrassing, it was a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, but it wasn't just like, oh, it's the same thing but with different characters. It was like a top-down, like, real-time strategy game where you had to move the animatronics around and try and keep the guy scared enough that you'd have the energy to attack him. It was an interesting idea, and then, like, I promptly abandoned it because Five Nights at Freddy's exploded in popularity, and I just didn't... I was just caught up in the storm, and nobody noticed that anymore because it was a wake of just crappy knockoff fan games that didn't bring anything new to the table. You know what? Let me go find a link. Let me go find a link to it. I posted it up on the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game subreddit before it got completely, overrun. Alright. Yeah, here's the Reddit post I've got. I'm putting a link in the chat. Anybody who wants to download this later, just gonna have to look for it, I guess. Alright, it's buggy. Yeah, check it out, Omni. It's buggy. It's actually a very difficult game to win unless you know exactly how the the systems work together. That was how I got into Python. That was my first project. I got into it because I wanted to make TUSSLE, but I didn't start on TUSSLE. I started with that. Let's see. Where was I on this? Oh yes, I was doing the offset. Let's see. Shift sprite position, so that would be self.sprite. This one, I don't need relatives then. I don't have any gameplay footage of that just yet. Honestly, I'm not too proud of it, and I never bothered to record it. But I don't know, if you follow a link to that Reddit post, you could like save it or something. It was a long time ago. Yes, it was. This was before. I think it was like actually right after Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out that I made it. I don't have footage of it because it's not really much to look at. It's really like hacked together. If you saw the code then and compared it to some of the stuff I can do now, it's pretty ridiculous. Just the amount of lines that I had to do simple stuff. Yeah. I've seen some other games that have done that, have had that idea before. I think I was the first, but I didn't execute it very well. The one that comes to mind is Five Nights at Fuckboys, which is way better than it actually has any right to be, considering how juvenile the humor is, but damn, it's a good RPG. Let's see. How can I do this? Oh yeah, I don't need the relatives, so then that would just be... Oh, which one what? So, games that have similar premise, there is an indie RPG series called Five Nights at Fuckboys, which is just this really bad juvenile humor RPG, but it's a really well done RPG as well. Yeah, it's got a bunch of like, you know, sex jokes and stoner humor, but it's good. It's a fun game. Yeah, and it's just there's a couple of games I've played that are like they are much better than they have every right to be, considering. But I'm not one to judge. Like, if it's a good game, I'll play it. I played the crap out of those. I've 100%ed at least the first two Five Nights at Fuckboys games. I don't think I've 100%ed the third. What? I've been distracted. What did I call that? Sprite offset. Yeah, it was the first fan game you've seen. That's a good fan game to start on, because most of them are just like the exact same game, but without as much design put into it, with other characters. Like, there's Five Nights at Wario's, there's Five Nights at, fucking so many just cheap knockoffs. And I was like, I know they're not the easiest to make, but they're certainly hard to make well from what I can see. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this will line up properly because the Sprite drawing code, because the camera zooming in and out, is insanely complicated. Yep, that did not work out right. That worked out very not effective. And there we go. Oh boy. Is the Sprite offset working right? Whoops. It's not even printing. Is this executing properly even? Oh, hang on. Don't need to set relative anymore. Oh yes, I do actually. Shit. Oh. Typo. Okay, so it didn't blow up. Oh. I see. Man, that could have actually maybe worked the other way around, but fuck it. This works. Nice. I finally got the sprite shift working. Although 12 might not be the right amount. Let's see. Let's see. I actually want to grab a walking frame to compare that to, because that seems to be whenever it doesn't quite work. Open. There are 4 screens because there's 4 players. I just am only loading a game with 1 character in it. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hang on, I heard a knock at the door. I will be right back. Sort of, but I'm almost done. I'm just going to finish up the last animation. Alright. I'll be right back. You guys feel free to come up real quick. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, that was my board game people. Because I'm running a bit long, but I want to finish this move just for posterity's sake. Let's see, that is 17. Let's try 17 for that sprite offset. They can even come up. These are my previous co-hosts from before, back whenever I remember to record. You can come up. I have a viewer, and he's interacting.
Okay, then. Well, not sitting in that chair.
Nope. Sorry, I did laundry recently. But yeah, take a look at some of the Zero animations that I've gotten so far.
See that idle stance?
Idle.
Yep.
I am actually really happy with that air jump animation. Like, I cut the sword out of his spin thing.
Like, in the actual games, right, he just jumps twice.
Yeah, in the actual games he just jumps twice, but that looks boring. So...
Like, that's not... And Super Smash Bros. Double jumps are all flips.
yeah, almost all flips. Hitbox is actually the odd one out, because instead of flipping forward, he just, like, flips upwards in 2D space. It's kind of cool. Also, I have an attack animation.
That is an attack.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Doop, doop, zoop. He seems to jump backwards too far, though.
Does it work as an attack, or is it just an animation?
It's just an animation right now. I'm gonna finish the attack, and then we can go play board games.
Alright, cool.
I'm just gonna...
Just give it some frames.
Well, no, I'm trying to
It
get...
pushes you back, is that what you said?
What?
It pushes you back?
Yeah, because the thing is, the animations are, like... The center of the animation is different, so I put in an offset.
Let's see. Oh, it seems to work now.
No, it still pushes him back a little bit.
Just, let me see. Just do it a bunch of times.
Well, if I do it a bunch of times, it's just going to do this, but it's like... I don't know, that... This direction seems to... You can see it whenever I'm walking.
You guys have it, like, moves back. Alright.
Yeah. It only seems to affect the first one.
Yeah, after that, so it gets into...
I think it depends on which leg is facing forward, because it's just like...
Because, like, now it looks
It's
nice.
always his... Well, I think it's whichever leg is facing forward. Like, it's always his right leg forward, or, you know, flipped. It's
Yeah.
the other one.
Slash?
But it's a specific leg that's forward, and so if
Let's
it's
see.
the other one, it looks like he moves back.
Shift sprite. Tear down. Let's see. Oh. I see what the issue is.
What's
It's a holdover from before I actually fixed the way the offset works. Because what I did before was, like, I actually shifted it, like, X many pixels up, then whenever the action ended, it shifted that back. And so the problem that I was encountering was, like, I've actually changed it, so now it is just a relative amount. Instead of adding this many, it, like... So basically, yeah. So now, the numbers do need adjusting, but you'll see how it sort of pops back every time. It's a long explanation, a long programmatic reason, but
Yeah.
code science-y magic.
I watch enough science fiction to understand, like, what it is technobabble, whether or not it's real. Like putting too much helium in a balloon.
I've just got to get the number right. And the easiest way to do that would probably be just change it by large amounts until it's too much, but that's getting there. That's, let's see, 17, so that'd be 34. I think I know what the amount is, because like I measured like the difference and it wasn't quite looking right, and I think I just needed to double the distance.
Still looks a little.
Now he's jumping forward,
Yeah.
I think.
Sometimes. It looks like he's jumping forward and left, but then... Here. Now it's actually... Again, I feel like it's like half the time it's one and half the time it's the other.
What was that? Yellow outline.
Oh, smash.
Oh, okay, right. It's in your shape.
Oh, well, yeah, it always is.
Okay.
But like, okay, something's up here. This. What the heck? You should be shifting back. Okay, I've found the issue is that it is not executing this shift back to 0. That seems to be the problem. Okay.
So is that move is tilt or is
Tilt.
yeah, forward tilt?
Yeah. Found the problem. I was just checking if the thing, I have to check manually if it is not the literal value of null. Otherwise, it'll treat 0 as a null. There we
Someone
go.
wants to know about Python, by the way.
What? Yes, it's Python. It's a long story that mainly comes down to me being a programmer and not really an artist, so I can't use Unity because Unity is a tool for animators to not have to program. It's not a tool for programmers to really make games.
Okay, wait. Sorry if I backstep a bit, but when you said the program thinks 0 is a null, was that a pun?
No, that wasn't a pun, but fuck you. Yeah, I think this finally got it. This finally has it. It looks very solidly in position right now.
You step forward. Are you doing that when you step forward? Or
Well, yeah, it's because it's the forward tilt. It's canceling the walk animation
okay,
into
so
it.
It should do that,
Yeah.
A little forward.
Cool.
Yeah, so actually let me, I'll try my best to do them, because if I hit it too quick at the same time, it does a smash.
What's the spinning animation you got pending, where he jumps below the platform?
That is, it is the spin
double
attack, and it's his double jump.
But you got rid of the sword for it? Or?
Yeah, I cut the sword out of it.
Nice.
But yeah, okay. Well, if I just keep slashing in place. Yeah, because the thing is the way tilts versus smashes work is it comes down to how soon you press the attack button after hitting forward. If you hit attack within 1 frame of hitting forward, it does a smash. So I have to wait like at least 2 frames, which means he's already started walking by then.
I see.
So that's why he's stepping forward. Yeah, it doesn't look like his sprite is lurching forward. He's physically moving forward, though.
That's why true pros set their right stick to tilts.
Exactly. That's what I do too. Because
it's really difficult because it's the only
yeah.
way to really do a standing
Tilt. Yeah. Also, it lets you do your aerial attacks without canceling your momentum in Smash 4. Because for some reason they made it so with stick set to smash, as long as you're holding the stick, you stand still.
Can you map the tilt in Tussle?
Not yet, but I could do that for, joysticks.
It's not important right now.
Yeah. But yes, Omni, if you want to do some character art, I would appreciate it, because the character that I have as, like, the flagship character is this square. He is an adorable square, though. And some of the animations are a bit jittery because I've just merged in some code and I have to fix it. But right now we're working on 0. So we've got the forward attack. The animations are good. Let's get the hitbox looking all right. So there's probably going to be multiple hitboxes because the way that it is shaped, we probably want, like, let's see. First things first, let's get this back into one big thing here. All right. So the way hitboxes work is that they're always anchored on, like, the center of the image, and then you give it an offset and then a size. So let's say we want one of these hitboxes to be like this.
So you can have multiple hitboxes then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can actually set them to if they have the same, you give them like a lock tag, which is just like a string, and if they have the same lock, then they can't both hit. So they'll probably.
If you're in the middle of them, you won't get hit by two sword.
Right.
Just curious, you're gonna give it a sweet spot, like, or as far as it's gonna be like Lucina, where it's the same all around.
Like it would have a sweet spot.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a
some
sweet
of it's white,
spot
some
for
of it's
this.
green. So maybe, I mean, obviously not in full
Yeah.
animation.
Right. I don't know if I'm going to do sweet spots for this, but I do need to make, like, this part needs to hit them backwards, and the front part needs to hit them forwards.
Oh, cool.
So they are going to be two different hitboxes because they need this here.
Yeah.
So let's see. This looks like a good hitbox position. So right now, this is 35 by 16. Let's bump it 1 pixel out so that it's a nice even number. Because I'm gonna have to divide that in half. And yeah, so now we're 36 by 16 is our size. Let me go put that in real quick. Half of 36 would be 18. Let's mark center point there. And then let's find the center point of the whole thing. This is the big thing that I've got to automate because this is the difficult part to find. Like, I have to have a tool or something to make this a lot, like, easier to do. Whoops. Went too far. So we're looking at 3 pixels up and 19 pixels back. -3. And then we'll tweak the numbers later. Let's do trajectory should be 91, 50, 160. Sounds about right. So what do you think? Damage what? This is like a frame 0 attack because I know it's a PUD. But so it's a frame 1 attack because of the way Zero's animations are done and how responsive the controls are in the GBA. So I don't want to make it too good because it's way too fast.
And this is just for like the backhand of the sword.
This is just the backhand of the sword. So let's do
So like this
for
a sour spot, like.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't really want it to be a sour spot. I just want it to hit
Because you're getting
opposite
hit by a
direction.
sort of offhand.
Yeah, backhand. Yeah. So maybe we'll give it the same damage and less knockback, since it's knocking further away.
Sense.
So let's do 6 damage on that. Base knockback. Let's do base knockback to 0.2. This seems about right. And then let's change its name to something. Let's call it backhand. And then this will be main. And then I don't even think I need to draw the box because I've got this one here as the line. So this whole front part here, actually yes, I think I do need the box, but I have to make sure it's the confined inside there. So then we've got let's see, 36 by 32 is the size of this next part. And I've covered up the center of the thing. Okay. Half of 36 is 18. Half of 32 is 16. All right. And then what is the distance here between these? So that would be 18 and 6. Six. 20. Let's give this one more point of base knockback. Keep the same growth. Alright, Omni is heading out. Alright, if you wanted to talk a bit about like doing Sprite stuff, then check out the subreddit. It's just reddit.r/project TUSSLE. And if you want, we could throw you into the Slack chat, and yeah, feel free to contribute. The whole point of this game is that it's totally open for anybody to contribute anything they want. Oh, I renamed the hitboxes, but I didn't change the names down here. So let's see if they are hitting properly. Oh,
What's that?
I forgot.
I want to
Yeah.
see the front hitbox.
Well, no, they're both there, but I forgot. I doubled the size of 0, so all of these offsets are going to be wrong. So I think I just need to double everything.
What happened to the second hitbox, though?
No, they were both there. They were just both small.
I see.
They're sort of in the same place, so that's why it looks like there's only one.
Yeah, but that's by intention. They're supposed to be in the same place.
Well, yeah,
Second
I mean,
one's-
they both look to be on the back end of the
Yeah, it's
sword.
supposed to be one hitbox just divided into two.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. Hopefully.
Should we have a demo to test it out on?
Okay, the offsets aren't quite right.
Please move a little to the right.
Yeah. Oh, because I shifted the sprite back. Okay, let's see. So then that would be, he went 32, 34? 34 pixels back. So that means that I'd need to do 28. And then 40. I don't know if this will work. Maybe my math was wrong.
Whoa.
I shifted the wrong axis. I shifted the y-axis instead of the x-axis because I am dumb. And then this should be 38. Not quite. The backhand is perfect.
Yeah,
The front is not. I did not do that one proper.
Use the hitbox
Oh,
to-
because I accidentally changed the size instead of the... Alright, I am burning out. I am making very silly mistakes.
Let's see.
You know, Exhibit A. So then it should be 70. Okay. Let's see if this is right. I'm just sort of throwing numbers at the wall and seeing what sticks. There we go.
That'll do it.
Boom, 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 boom.
So you want to try using a hitbox here?
Yeah, I think hit stun might actually be broken because I just recently merged some stuff in. Yeah, it's broken.
I see.
I know what's up with that though.
Oh, speaking of that, it looks like it hits before the sword actually comes out. Don't know if you want to change that.
Nah, the sword comes out immediately.
Okay.
Alright, I believe that fixes it. Because, yeah, one of the things that changed is that the hit stop has been moved from a property of the action to something that the fighter just computes on their own. Back. Let's see here. Oh, let's see, so that would be in base actions. I need some default values because the way actions work now. Come on.
You took the 6%.
Yeah, he did. It's the hit stop. It's not quite working. I thought I fixed this. I thought I got rid of this whole bit here. Guess I didn't. Whoops, that's not 0. Once I get this working, I think I'm going to call it for the night.
Hey, you got
Boom, boom, boom. Needs more knockback.
Kill him.
There's the backhand. That was a smash accidentally, but yeah. Zoop.
How much knockback should a normal A button do?
Some.
Oh, I see. Tilt, right.
Tilts are a little bit better than.
It should do some at least.
Backhand seems
Yeah, but no, that's because he was at like 90. Let's try. That looks nice for early.
0%.
Oh, I forgot to give them the same lock. He's getting hit by both, and they're canceling out.
Does it take the full 12% then if you
Yeah.
But does it take double the knockback?
the sweet best.
Well, no, they cancel each other out because they're in like perfectly opposite directions, and he just goes up.
Nice.
So I just add in this, what's it, hitbox lock, and as long as I give them the same word, it'll give them the same lock.
And so it'll basically be the same hitbox.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
And I believe because of the order I added them in, the backhand takes precedence if he's hit by both.
Too, yeah.
I don't want that. That was a smash. Yeah. I think I'm gonna swap the order of these so that it'll hit them forward before backward. Because the backward really should only be like if they are behind you.
Yeah.
Boop. Boop.
Alright, we'll trade him for point blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prioritize. Well, that one, he was actually behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's in range of both, he'll go forward.
Nice.
And I think that's a fair knockback for a fast tilt,
Yeah.
because it's got very little growth to it, so it doesn't really matter how much damage they have.
I wonder how well it combos. It doesn't look like it'll combo into itself.
Yeah, because this thing actually has it's got a decent amount of end lag, but
Baxi was like scrunched up for a while.
oh no, that was
Is that him on the ground?
yeah, that was prone.
I see.
For some reason, it retained his hit stun through death, so whenever he respawned, he was in tumble state, so he just fell prone. Yeah, this looks like it pretty much never kills, but it always sends them back. This looks like, because it's immediate, like it can't be good. It cannot be good, like a good kill move for how fast it is. This is just like a spacer.
Yeah, it's a footsie move.
Yeah. Because it's got decent reach. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Alright, well, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So this video, you know, we went over like making the sprites, making normal moves, making attacks, and I think that's all you'd really need to go on with your characters. There's more advanced stuff you can do with attacks like projectiles and stuff, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really have that functionality fully completed yet in the XML. I've just been running Python code through it. So whenever I get that done, I'll probably revisit Zero and, you know, finish him up. I do want to finish him just because he's a fun character and I want to play as him.
Yeah.
But, so I think I'm actually going to call the stream done at that point.
Alright.
Well, you know, good night, everybody, and I will see you next